This is a product review of the Philips HTL2163B soundbar and subwoofer combo. This review, I will demonstrate the unit, I will give my opinion on it, I will show you some measurements, the good, the bad, and the recommendations for you in terms of what I have found from my own experience on this unit. Just in terms of the packaging, the box is a rectangular box, actually quite large. Comes with a lot of this egg cartons, so it's very well packaged. Okay, so let's look at the items one by one. We have a subwoofer. The subwoofer is actually not very big. The width of the subwoofer is 16.5 and the depth of it is almost 30 centimeters. It is ported, as you can see. It's got a rather neat appearance, I don't have a problem with it. And the actual woofer, subwoofer is here at the back. Not very big. I can measure it quickly. We're looking at a cone width of 12 centimeters. So this is the unit. It's black. It's got a vinyl cover. It's got a vinyl covering. Very neat. Very thin plywood, or maybe this is chipboard. Let's see. We're looking at 9 mils. Overall, I wouldn't describe this as a powerful unit. Also, you can tell by how thin the actual subwoofer cable is that this is not a high power unit. This is just to add a bit of fill in the background, not to make the sound so tinny. Alright, taking that off the table. The main event, the soundbar itself. Now, the soundbar actually comes in 3 pieces. So what happens is, in the box, it actually gets packaged one, and so what happens is it actually slides in there. It's a one-way, it's not very difficult to use, it only goes in one direction. So there's your 3-piece soundbar. You've got the intelligence and amplifier in the middle, and you've got the 2 speakers on the sides. Just describing this thing, the materials are of very high quality. I actually was impressed. This soundbar was quite a lot cheaper than the equivalent Samsung, and it had many more features. It's got this is steel. This is a steel grill, and what seems to be very neatly done, there's a rubber foot here, and on the side it is a gloss. It's got a gloss finish, and the other one is the same. And the center unit, it's got like a glossy, shiny finish here. These are touch sensitive buttons, or maybe I shouldn't use the word buttons. These are such touch sensitive I don't want to say buttons, but the power selector here, the source, minus, plus, that's for the volume. You also have the USB charger, which is rated here at 1 amp, and you have an audio in, like an auxiliary in. Now, while I've got this open, I'm just going to show you the different connections that you can have to this unit. On the one side here, we have 3 RCA connectors. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with RCA, I'll actually show you what RCA is. Here is the RCA. So what normally would happen is you will have left and right, and if your TV or your amplifier or whatever you're using has a 3.5mm jack, then if you want to plug into the unit, you will then convert it to RCA. Or if you only have 3.5mm jack to 3.5mm jack, then you could also plug your one side here and your other side into the TV. So there's lots of versatility. You can use 3.5mm jack, or you can use RCA. Please note, in this video I connected the jack here and the RCA there. You obviously can't do that. You use one or the other. So you're using the RCA and the other side will go to your TV, or you will be using just the jack. If you've got a 3.5mm connected to a 3.5mm connector, then it'll go jack to jack. Alright, then you might be wondering what this is. Well, this is another connection. It's got optical and SPDIF. I'm not surprised that it has these additions. The SPDIF, if I'm not mistaken, was actually invented by Philips. So that's quite common to see it on Philips products. Okay, so to install this, we will just connect these two together. Just it only fits one way, and you slide it in there, and then once it's connected, you'll screw in there and one in there. Yeah. On the other side, we have the HDMI connector, and the subwoofer connector goes in there, and the power cord goes there. So this is the complete unit. The measurement of this unit is, I think it's 840 centimeters wide. And it also comes with a remote control with taking one battery, and the battery is supplied in the packet, so you don't have to have your own battery. Just looking at the controls available to you, you have the different inputs: coaxial, optical, auxiliary, audio in. You've got a direct shortcut button for USB, Bluetooth and HDMI ARC. I'll explain what that one does just now. And then you've got the back forward. So you've got some control here. What is nice is it's got a direct treble and bass sound EQ buttons on the remote. You've got the positive and negative volume, and then the mute button in the middle. The sound, it gives you different sound types like movie, soft and so on. And then you've got surround sound on and off, audio sync, I'll tell you about that, dim and night. I'll also tell you about that, and then I'll tell you about that when I plug it in. Let me the HDMI, if you do want to, the reason why I bought this one is because of something called HDMI ARC. Actually, another term is called HDMI CES. And this feature is usually in more expensive products. And what happens is you plug in your HDMI cable into the HDMI slot there, and your male to female connector goes there, and then what happens is this unit has to be plugged into a TV or receiver that is HDMI ARC or SEC compatible. Now what that means is that, and I did this and it does work, it actually works very well, is that you can control the unit from the remote of your TV. So once this is plugged in, the audio also comes through here, and when I change the volume on my TV remote, the volume on the Philips soundbar also changes, and it also switches on and switches off when the TV switches on and off. And you can program a few other features on it as well. So that's the beauty of the SEC. How important is it? Well, it's not very important, because if you use the just audio in or the aux or the line in, you would set the volume on your TV, you would set the volume on your unit, and then you would control the volume that would be inputted into the soundbar. So it's not a very important feature, but it is really nice to have because it does have the auto power on and auto power off. Okay, so let's look at the the last item, which is also the power supply. It comes with this power supply. You're looking at a, how many volts? This is a 21 volt 3.09 amp power supply, and it plugs in on this side, and then you'll see the power LED there, and you can switch it on and it just says starting, and within a few, maybe 10 seconds, it's ready to go. Now, let me demonstrate the remote and the features here. The first thing I'd like to demonstrate is the dim function of the remote. Now, this is an important thing, because if the soundbar is under your TV, you do not want to have a bright LCD display catching your eye while you're trying to watch TV. So this is quite nice. As you can, I don't know if you can see the brightness of the display changing, and you can put night mode off, you can put it on, and you can select how dim it is. And the dimmest is it's almost like you have to go up to it in order to see it. So it will not interfere with your TV viewing, having some LCD here changing menu scrolling and so on. It's actually very, very good feature. Then the next thing is the direct buttons here. Now the Bluetooth, you press the Bluetooth, there it is. It pairs with your phone or your other Bluetooth device. It actually works perfectly. I have not had any problems. I have read reviews on Amazon, people having problems. I don't know if it was this exact model, but the Bluetooth works nicely, no problems there. The bass and treble, also as I said, you can control it here with the remote, great feature. The sound, it's got auto, it's got powerful, balanced, bright, clear, warm, personal, auto, and so on. And then the surround sound option, it's either stereo or surround. This is probably a bit useless. The sound on the surround sound option was actually not very good in my opinion. Okay, the next feature is this audio sync. Now when you are playing music through the soundbar, there may be a delay between the TV's character, the way they're spoken on the program that you're watching, and the sound coming out of the speaker. So you can set the audio sync in 10 millisecond spacings right up to 200 milliseconds. Also a good feature. And if you've got a good TV, I don't know if you maybe using Kodi or a media player, home cinema, like a home media, what do you call it, home cinema PC, then your various software could do this anyway. But if you just got a straightforward TV, then this is important. Otherwise the voice and the person on the TV versus the voice will be out of alignment. Okay, so that's the description of the unit. Now I'll give you my opinion on the good, the bad, and the future recommendations for things like this. Let me get through to the bad things first. We have mounting slots there and there. They do not provide screws for that. Okay, so you would have to install screws here into your wall and then mount it. Personally, they should be there and there. The chance of making an error is much higher when it's closer together. So this installation here should be there and there. And I'd probably guess they don't want to put it on the sides because it would maybe deflect a little bit, but it is a very light unit. It's not heavy at all. So I would have had the mounting spacings wider. It provides for a more accurate installation. Okay, second thing, once you install this, I would like it right under my TV. I do not want to have the unit and then a space and then my TV. I want it almost at the bottom of my TV. But then why install the USB and the audio in on the top of the unit and the buttons on the top of the unit? So you need hand space. That means that if you install this, your TV would have to be at least 10 centimeters away from the soundbar. So you'll have TV space soundbar, and then your USB will slot in there. It's kind of awkward, maybe at the bottom, or I suppose if you wanted it on a flat surface would be a bit annoying, but maybe they could have had it on the side or even just in the front of it. So that for me was a design flaw, and these buttons should not be on the top, they should be here, so that the soundbar should sit snugly under your TV. Okay, so that's the second criticism. The third criticism is when using the sec function, for some reason, when it links to your TV, and I know they advertise on the box it's a one-step system, it's actually not one step. You have to set this up on your TV. You have to make sure your TV actually will work with this function. On my TV, I'm using a Sharp TV, LE730 model, and it's the Sharp Aqueous, and that TV's got great features. But one of the things, I don't know if it's a TV's problem or the Philips unit, is once it connects to each other, the volume, the standard volume is quite high. So it's like it synchronizes with each other at a high volume. Therefore, if somebody else comes to the TV and disables that, then the almost like the resting volume, let's call it that, of the TV is very high. So that for me was a little problem. Okay, I wouldn't not use it because of that. It's just something that I noticed. The next problem is the sound. Do not buy this item if you have a large room. My room is 4 meters by 4 meters, so that's 16 meters, but my ceiling is high. And my roof, my room is not square. There are not really any parallel walls. It's almost like off. And the reason for that is for the acoustics are better, so you don't get a booming sound in corners and so on. And this unit is just insufficient. So it's in my case, I would actually not recommend such a small scale soundbar. My TV speakers are still louder than this unit, so I'm actually going to return this unit as it is just insufficient. Yes, the subwoofer does add some nice bass fill, but you want to hear the spoken words through these speakers, and I actually realized that even though the rated wattage of this unit is twice the rated wattage of my TV, why is my TV louder? Maybe there's an exaggeration here. Maybe this is the PMPO or peak music power output, whereas my TV, they're rated in RMS. So actually my Sharp, yes, it is a high-end TV, it's a 70-inch TV. My Sharp TV's native speakers are actually, and I'm not exaggerating, about twice as loud as this unit. So this actually became useless. So this is actually recommended for someone with a small room. Maybe you live in a condo or a bedroom, and your TV is about a 40-inch TV or a cheap TV that has got poor audio capability. So this I would not recommend. So that's my my negatives. My positives: materials are great, it works well. The remote is particularly nice. Yes, it's plasticky and that, but it's almost like button press. You can actually hear it. So it's actually a high quality, nice, almost like a brushed plastic. Picks up from almost anywhere in the room. I was actually very impressed. Look at this, it is plasticky, but I was actually expecting something worse. The unit is premium. Nobody could criticize the quality of this unit. The plastics are thick. I feel like I'm holding a quality product in my hand. I won't say the same about the subwoofer. This guy here it does the job, but I wouldn't call this premium.